Hello everyone. Oh my God, it's so cold here in Southern California. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Thank you so much, Stitch Kings, for this amazing sweater, which I'm wearing on this Tech Tuesday. Sorry about the slight delay in getting back to all of you. It's been a very interesting week, an amazing day. I was knee-deep in paperwork signing up, and I'm here at the Bisimoto facility, forgive the echo, kind of playing musical cars this morning. A couple of cars were being, shipped out, so it's pretty good. Very busy day indeed. Namaste Dre, greetings. Styles Beyond says, much love, you're my biggest idol. Thanks for the kind words. I sincerely appreciate you indeed. Good afternoon, Ashton Campbell saying he's freezing as well. Stay warm. Hello, R35, R13. Electro Porsche, got your baby. She was in good. I just spoke about you, Ian. For those of you who don't know Electro Baby, Electro Porsche. I said Electro Baby. Electro Porsche. He is a gentleman by the name of Ian, a very accomplished voice actor, an overall amazing gentleman and enthusiast. And he had his gorgeous 912 here, which I'll put pictures of soon, for quite a few months. And got it picked up this morning. So I'm glad that she is in your capable hands. Il.D. Sross, good seeing you indeed. Welcome, welcome. Parse, things are going well. Family is great. Planning a wonderful trip for them. Today's my son Kobe's birthday, which is fantastic. Happy birthday, Kobe. E36 Stunner, greetings indeed. Good morning or good afternoon, Motek, and where are you? Do you see the RPM Act passed in the House, now up to the Senate? I didn't know that. For those of you who may or may not know this, there is this crazy law, courtesy of the Environmental Protection Agency, preventing us enthusiasts from being able to modify any car whatsoever. And when I mean it, modify, you can't even take a old school vehicle that had small equipment and turn to a race car. We couldn't even do that. So the RPM Act is something that SEMA put together to be able to put in front of those powers that may be in Washington to repeal that so that we can be able to modify cars. I mean, imagine that can kill an entire industry, including the way that all of us make our livelihoods, right? So it's pretty amazing indeed. So that's good news. I will look into that. Motek and thank you. Hello, DT Garda 2006. It's a beautiful day here in Southern California, even though it's quite cold. I'm here in the facility. There's a beautiful 996 Turbo next to me. There are a couple of slant noses outside, a 935, and also a proper Flachbau right there behind me as well. And for those of you on YouTube, thank you so much for allowing me to use this as an archiving moment. Hopefully it's not too dark because I'm in the office. But anyway, hope all is well with each and every one of you. Okay, greetings, DJ Ramarov, all the way in San Diego. Good guy, Porsche enthusiast, Toyota off-roadist, just an amazing individual altogether. Thank you so much for joining indeed. Hello, Izus is a punk too. Good seeing you. Hey, BC says, vote. Why is suspension geometry and engineering stuff so damn hard? It is. I mean, think about the crazy. So what is banging back there? Think about the activity, the rigors that suspension components have to go through. Not only do they have the rigorous task of being able to uphold a vehicle and be able to uphold in different terrain and different conditions, but there's constant exposure to pressure, heat, cold, oscillations, you name it. It's a very hard-working component on the car, and to make that happen and be able to keep balance, make the car safe, drivable, enjoyable, and also do that in a variety of environments, whether it's wet, dry, snow, sleet, hot, cold. It's a lot of work. It really is. And so it's little wonder that it's quite involved as well. Good afternoon, Huizara Donai. Thank you so much. Happy holidays to you, Jay to Talk. Jay is a great guy as well, hardcore enthusiast, put together this amazing 997 twin turbo kit, which, man, I was impressed. And it's very hard for me to get impressed. And he impressed me indeed. So Jay, thanks for being such a great enthusiast and for joining me on this wonderful Tech Tuesday. Make great motoring. Good afternoon. Good seeing you. I'm in also. One happy Christmas. Ekereshimesh. Kwa kazi kuya no. Dalo no. One mem no angori na mona gena eba obwa. Gena ndu tugi no na Instagram eba. So thank you so much. Crashed GTI said, do you have a cross pass with EV West? Yes, I know Michael, the proprietor or founder of that company. He actually helped me with some of the stuff on the K3V. I bought some components from him as well. Good guy, fellow engineer. They did some really cool stuff. So I do know EV West and do like them as well. Hello, Senor Pizza 79. Thank you so much for saying kind words about the view. I'm here at the Bisimoto facility indeed. Happy birthday to your son, says I35R13. Thank you so much. Appreciate that very, very much. Thank you, Nicorasis. Appreciate the kind words to my son as well. N54TYE says, hey BC, is it normal for stage 2 clutches with a lightweight flywheel to chatter? I think it could be a throwout bearing easy. Happy holidays. So it depends. The one thing I don't like about stages, guys, I really mean this. Stages with clutches, that every clutch company, majority of them have different designations for stage 2. For some people, stage 1 is just a standard organic disc with a single finger diaphragm, right? Regular clutch replacement. Maybe a little stiffer pressure plate, right? That's usually stage 1. Stage 2 is usually a Kevlar disc, which is still, how should I say, steel sprung, where it has springs inside to absorb some of the impact or shock into the drivetrain. But some people also say stage 2 is a puck clutch. Then others say, okay, stage 3 is a puck clutch with springs, and stage 4 is a puck, with no springs. And some people say, oh, stage 4 is like a center iron clutch. So it's all over the place. So I'm curious, N54, based upon the crazy non-conforming way that clutch companies tend to put clutches together, which one do you have? But let's talk about chatter. Chatter usually occurs when you have a puck clutch that's many times unsprung. And that chatter is actually that engagement happening and the pucks being able to catch onto that surface between the flywheel and the pressure plate itself. So you get that chatter. And you could, as you get used to it, gradually kind of slip a little bit and prevent chatter. I'm very used to driving 4-puck, 3-puck, 6-puck clutches with no springs whatsoever and get them to engage smoothly without chatter or crazy grip. It's just how you modulate your clutch pedal. If you do have a standard stage 2, meaning a Kevlar setup, Kevlar is a very soft, low impact, very strong, and very resilient material that needs to be broken in very nicely. By the way, if you don't break it in, it can glaze. Like the ones from guys from Action, I've seen them tell customers all the time, make sure you break it in. 500 miles plus, easy driving. Don't go doing burnouts. If you have a Kevlar stage 2 and you're having chatter, something's amiss. Throwout bearings tend to make a lot of noise that sound like grinding in nature. They don't necessarily have the opportunity to prevent or provide chatter opportunities. So what I mean by that is the throwout bearing, all it does is just a bearing that has a surface on it that's embedded, that also has a bearing with rollers on the inside that allow you to be able to push down on the pressure plate to engage and disengage the clutch by pushing in and letting go accordingly, or depending on if it's a push or pull clutch, right? So the throwout bearing is a bearing that allows for your foot via either hydraulic assembly or cable to push or pull the fingers of the pressure plate. Now that being said, the only thing that can happen is the bearings can go out and it creates this friction environment, and you just hear a lot of noise that sounds like a grinding noise, right? It won't cause chatter. Chatter is when you gauge or disengage. So what can cause chatter? Puck clutches can do that, especially if they don't have any springs to absorb shock. What also cause chatter? A failing pressure plate. Either the fingers are being deformed or broken, or the springs that hold the pressure plate surface to the outer casing of the pressure plate is disintegrating as well. So let me know what kind of clutch you have, N54TYE, I can push you in the right direction. If it's a puck, that could be normal. If it's a full-faced Kevlar, no, not normal at all. At all. Hello, Dan Solis. Merry Christmas to you as well. Hope your Tuesday's going well. Love the background. Thank you, Hess teams. I'm here in the Bisimoto facility. Have a couple of beauties, actually a trio of beauties right behind me. 2 water-cooled and 1 air-cooled. So by all means, thank you. I know you got the best out of Honda motors, says Julio Watts. By using the best fluids, I have a JDM B20 low comp and building a B20 VTEC. What's the best fluids oil to use? Just OEM plus build. I love OEM plus builds because it allows you to really do what is known as blueprinting, build it like OEM, but a little more fire to it, a little more spice, a little more salsa, right? Which is good. So that's pretty good. Here is what I recommend. See this right here? This little logo right here on top of my hat? I love these guys. Aerospace company, out of control, amazing individuals, Purell. They have a break-in oil, and we have some here, some 30 weight and 40 weight SAE. So if your engine based upon your bearing clearances. It's very important. Calls for anywhere from 020 to 530. Use the SAE 30 for break-in. If you have to run a 1040 and thicker, use the SAE 40 pure oil break-in. And it's beautiful what this break-in oil does. It allows for very smooth interaction of your rings and the cylinder walls to allow for a better seal. It protects your bearings as well, especially during initial startup. It has a high zinc formula, so it protects your valve train like no tomorrow. And it just allows the opportunity to clean any rubbish, debris, articles of lint during the cleaning process when building the engine. And what I typically do is I put in, a normal fill with a filter. I get the car to operating, or engine to operating temperature. I shut it off, let it cool down. I drain that to get any rubbish particulates out. Then I fill it up again with some more break-in oil to a regular fill. And then if you're driving around on the main roads, you can do 400 or 500 miles, 1,000 miles if you so desire, and you're good to go. If you're going to the dyno, one dyno session, you are done. I mean it. You can do a 2-hour dyno session on the pure break-in oil, and your stuff is like ridiculous leak down numbers. Just amazing indeed. So that means after that, I will recommend you using a fill of pure oil as well. If it was 1040, 530, 020, whatever calls for based upon your manufacturer recommendations and or, more importantly, your bearing clearances. So I hope that helps indeed. Yeah, I look forward to your video. N54, let me know. Sometimes videos can prevent proper frequencies from coming true. It may be something where you may have to have a proper, how should I say, local mechanic that's reputable to look at it, BMW with for life says, BC, do you use the Godzilla blow-off valve on the Porsche and did you modify it to get a high-pitched noise? BMW Wiz Life, I use it on everything. It's on that blue one out there. It's on my crazy IROC Porsche. I use it on the Odyssey. Everything that's boosted here has a Godzilla. I love the sound, how it looks. It's on the wagon. I didn't modify it at all. That high-pitched noise is just natural. I didn't even adjust the settings on it. So that being said, as is, from Turbonetics, that's what I use, and it sounds really good. VTEC Academy says, what does F your K mean on my shirt? So back in the day, guys, Litai, like Thai. Oh, Thai, thank you so much, and 54 Thai, thank you. F your K meant pretty much forget, or whatever where you're going to sacrifice for F, or substitute for F, your K, because I've always been a huge advocate of F-Series motors, right? And I was like, yeah, my F-Series is pretty nice. It goes pretty fast. I have F22A. I'm kicking butt. I'm running 9s, all motor. F your K-Series, right? And then when I built my own K-Series, I went the other way. While people are clamoring for, K20As and K24As and all that fun stuff, I want K24Z or K24Z. I want to do the Z3s and Z7s. So I use a different kind of K when I built my own K-Series. That's what my wagon, that's what in my 9th gen Civic that I built. I find those engines very, very appealing, especially for boost. So I'm like, hey, my K is better than yours. F your K, pretty much that. And that was how this shirt came to be. So I hope that makes sense indeed. Has team saying, do you ever hire local detailers prior to when you have photo shoots of vehicles? Or do you ever have a need for a detail guy because you're so busy? I've done both. I've had the team clean things up for me. I've done it myself. I've had a detail guy come in. I do have a pretty standard guy who comes in from time to time. Rico, very good guy, does a good job. And yeah, I do have that indeed. Is it the same pure Smokey Yunick used back in the day? If he did, I'm not sure, but I love Smokey. The guy was a genius. I met his daughter at PRI not too long ago, which is pretty cool, but what a genius. What a guy who didn't have a formal education for engineers, but continued to do things that were out of the box and so forward thinking that it made many engineers scratch their heads. And I bought his Horsepower Secrets, volumes 1 and 2, from SA Books and read it cover to cover. I'm telling you guys, Smokey, genius. I learned so much from him. I just love how he thought. Just way ahead of his time. Just an amazing individual indeed, I have a twin turbo S62 Z4 with 7-speed DCT. I want that sound too. You can do that if you're boosting, especially if you're not math based. So if you're speed density, by all means, if you use the Godzilla blow-off valve and recirculate back into a math system, you won't get that sound. But yes, get it. If you have a hard time finding any, let me know. I don't know if I have any more here. It was discontinued. I may have some. Let me know if you can find any. Thank you, VTEC Academy, who says he loves it. Appreciate that indeed. What's your opinion on the Honda Orthia? I have not had any experience with it, Julia Watts, so I'm really not in the best position to talk about that. I'm a Citroen DS3. I love Citroen's chunky turnip, whether it's the old school ones or the newer ones that they tend to electrify. I love Citroens. They're really cool cars. For those of you who don't know, they are French in design and in origin. So the French are really not known for like crazy, ridiculous cars, but when you think of Renault and Citroen, I like their style. I really do a lot. You know, now that part of Stellantis, I like them even more. I messaged you on Facebook and they said to wait for your live video. Oh, that was I. So my thing was, I didn't say wait for it, but like, hey, let's discuss it here on Tech Tuesday. And what I mean by that is, this Tech Tuesday is something I've done. We're way into 200 episodes back to back every weekend. I think I missed a couple due to some crazy emergency things that came up, but I've been pretty consistent with this Tech Tuesday. And it's a thing where I feel I need to give back to our community. Because me coming to the United States, my goodness, I've had so many great things happen. I've met so many wonderful people. I have 2 lovely kids. I've had a great career. I had great education here. The United States has been so great, but I remember first coming here, I had this challenge where people really didn't want to help me when it came to me learning about automobiles. So even though a lot of shops would be more than happy to take my resources, they didn't want to tell me what they were doing to the cars. And I want to know. So what did I swear that I would do once I graduated, became an engineer, and had this wonderful mentor by the name of John Concialdi, who was the founder of AEM, still is the founder of AEM, Advanced Electronics, Engine Management, electronics. I want to do the same thing. I'm here to share, gentlemen and ladies, I mean it, everything I know. Everything I know about cars, I'm here to share with you. Because technology continues to advance, whether it has to do with electrification, petrol, my experimentation, me doing crazy things with single cam engines, me being able to break records all across the world. Whatever it takes, I'm here to give back to this wonderful community that helped me become who I am today. So any questions you have, feel free to ask, and I am here to oblige. Is it possible, says Socially Free Poo, or a good idea, to daily a puck clutch? Yes, I did it. The whole time I was in college, studying engineering, I had a 6 puck sprung from Action. And it was absolutely spectacular. And I love the guys from Action. We sell the clutches, we carry them. I have an order for I think 10 units, so I'll be there soon if you guys are watching. Above and beyond that, my goodness, I just love their wear. It's very reliable, very modular, very easy to drive. You can. If you're the kind of guy who just or girl who just lets off the clutch pedal very quickly, yeah, you can get a little bit of chatter and a little grip, but if you can modulate quite nicely, you can. They use a semi-metallic material, which I like. There are some pucks that are also based on Kevlar material, which lasts so long, has much easier engagement, but you have to be very careful with braking, like I said earlier. But yes, you can, and I have, daily driven or daily drive puck clutches with success. Parson says, ooh, happy birthday to your son. Yeah, Kobinde is 4 today. Gotta be cool, super cool to have a birthday and Christmas. Grateful as well. Yes, I say that, and 2 days is my father's Christmas. So, oh, not father's Christmas, my father's birthday on the 23rd. It's crazy because they always get cheated. People who have birthdays close to major holidays like Thanksgiving or Christmas in particular always get cheated out of it. They get presents all bundled together. It's really sad. And even mine is in January, first week of January, and it's sad for me because mine is too close to Christmas, and usually back home in Nigeria, we're still in holidays. So, it's really sad. Anyway, but yes, thanks for the kind words and happy birthday to my beautiful son, Kobimde. Brother Matthias says, Ibo Kwenu. Ibo Kwenu. Yeah. Kwezona. Yeah. That's something we do back home, guys. Anyway, Brother Matthias, I hope now they can know, Don't know, only member angle they need pata. Na show am name time. With the CK one and where is the book? Messi. Okay. Mentors Rule says Cindy 714. Speaking of Cindy, Cindy is wonderful. I love her so much. Cindy is a wonderful woman who hired me into pharma years ago. She came to my side last week when I was going through some crazy stuff out in Great LA, and she's just been a wonderful person and a blessing to my soul. Thank you, Cindy, for being who you are. and for being there for me when I needed you the most. I sincerely appreciate you. So thank you. Of course, my energy is great. You know, good things are happening. So I'm very happy indeed. Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate you indeed. My pleasure, socially free Pooh. My pleasure indeed. The most important thing when building an all-wheel drive NA B20 VTEC, will the weak sleeves affect the build? Yes. B20 VTECs with the 84mm bore are very susceptible to fracturing of the sleeve. So whether you're naturally aspirated, high strung, definitely when you're boosted, it's always wise to sleeve that block. It really is, because they're just pretty slender. Now you can get away with a very good block that's been cured very nicely, and you may be lucky enough to have a casting that's impeccable. But the bad thing is when those sleeves fracture, really bad things can happen. They can really get to a point where they're not salvageable, and they can destroy your piston set and rods in the process. So that being said, if I were your shoes, and I always begin with the end in mind, take it to a place like Golden Eagle, get it sleeved, and have all the fun and address those weak points in your build. And you'll have a blast indeed. Versatile 17, happy holidays to you as well. Greetings indeed. They should celebrate in July, so 2 times. I agree. I agree indeed. And we're going to have a pretty nice event with Holly in July, so that should be a good month. I hear you, BC. No worries, says Uparse. Thank you so much. Appreciate that indeed. Hooray for January birthday, says Real Red for you. Thank you so much. I'm so excited about my birthday. I don't know if I'll be here in LA or if I'll be in Vegas. I haven't quite decided yet. But thank you so much. I'll definitely do my Tech Tuesday that week, so it should be good. My birthday is on the 23rd. I totally understand. I know, Alex. Happy birthday indeed, brother. And for those of you who don't know West Coast Alex, his name is Alex, as the name implies. He is my teammate from as far back as the 90s. A very great enthusiast, a good friend. He's been there for me from day one. You may see my many events when we go out together. I've been hanging out with the kids a lot in recent weekends, so I haven't been able to go to events out in Southern California. But nonetheless, when you see me at events, he's typically nearby. So Alex, thank you so much for being a great friend and for being here for me all these years. Thoughts on a brand new Jeep Rubicon, BC? Finally built in V8. Yes, it looks awesome. I'm telling you. Stellantis, formerly FCA, now this huge global brand, they stepped up the game. And then Ralph Gilles, who is my son's godfather and also an amazing designer, heads up the global design for that. So they really hit it out of the park. I do want to get one. There's so much I want to do. So little time. Oh, anyway, all right. I appreciate you, Cindy. Thank you so much indeed. Neighbor Trejo, good seeing you indeed. Thank you for joining my Tech Tuesday. Appreciate you. I can just throw a stone next door and hit you. He works next door at Ruthless Juice. Ruthless is this wonderful company. They do a lot of vaping, manufacturing, distribution, private labeling, just a huge organization and just very successful as well. So thank you so much for being part of my Tech Tuesday today, and I will see you in a few moments. What are your thoughts on the VGT Turbos in the 718 SKMs and Boxers? I like them. The cool thing about VGT Turbos, they're variable vane, and they allow you to exist like a VTEC for turbocharging. And what do I mean by that? For those of you who know VTEC, with the variable, technology and camshaft technology, it allows for you to simulate having multiple camshafts in the same engine. So for a low torque capability, there's a small camshaft, and as you go up in RPM, oil flows in certain areas, locks in certain VTEC assemblies and lobes and rockers, and allows you to have a larger cam. So it's like you're throwing out a cam that's small, throwing a bigger cam based upon what RPM you're driving in. And what does that translate to? A very good driving experience, a very flat torque curve, and lots of fun. Same thing happens with turbos. If you get a very big turbo slap onto your car, let's say a flat six like a Boxster or Cayman, you'll notice that even though it's a lot of fun in high RPMs and high speeds, it's really a dog down low. If you put a very small turbo, it's very much fun down low, but runs out of steam in high RPMs and higher speeds. So how can you eat your cake and have it too? You have VGT turbos or variable vane turbos. And with the variable gas turbine technology, you have the capability of being able to, once again, eat your cake and have it too by having a turbo that simulates a smaller one at low RPMs and at high RPM simulate a larger one. And what that translates to is a lot of fun, great bottom end, and amazing top end without any sacrifices. The only thing is they're slightly complex, they have moving parts, and as they age, I'm talking about aging way far down the line, they seem to be failure points. But that technology has progressed so much, it's not much of an issue. Net, you enjoy your vehicle with a nice flat torque curve that's enjoyable indeed, so it's great. It's very, very, very good. My birthday's on December 13th, so I totally understand getting shorted. Oh, I thought you said it was like 23rd. Yes, 13th. You're very close. I missed your birthday. Forgive me. It's Season Bruff said, did you say? Did you say, BC, that you prefer K24Z for boost? And the answer is yes. And I'll tell you why. As you look at the K24Z, what Honda did, and they've done it with subsequent engines, even in the J series, in the R series, in the L series, you name it, they did this primarily to be able to allow for higher catalyst temperatures for easier light off, to allow for better emissions. And what I'm talking about is having an integrated exhaust manifold. So instead of having I wish I had a head here as an example. Instead of having a cylinder head, let's say with 4 cylinders, we have 4 intake ports and 4 exhaust ports. With the newer engines from Honda in the Earth Dreams realm, they have 4 intake ports and a single exhaust port, where the exhaust port as singular pretty much is a culmination of all 4 exhaust ports combined into the casting into one outlet. Now that doesn't do wonders for power, because you look at cylinders 1 and 4 on the same head, it doesn't flow very well in relation to its earlier counterparts. But Honda really did us a good favor. They used larger valves and more bigger ports on the K series of the K24Z, so the intake flows better than any K period. But here's where it's great for boost. Honda blessed us with a pseudo makeshift turbo manifold. So all I do is I get a little manifold. I love using the wares from guys from PRL and just adapting a turbo to it. So you just have this very short runner that's just cast into the head. You have a little adapter to allow for a port for a wastegate. You bolt a turbo onto it. So it's great for packaging and for spool. I spool with a K24 without increasing displacement. I can spool a 72mm turbo like that. I can get max boost at almost 4,000 RPMs like that, because of how short that runner is. It's almost like a very efficient log manifold where you don't have to pay an arm and leg to get that made. So that being said, I love it. That's why I have my wagon. That's why I had in the 2012 Civic I built for American Honda. I've recommended those to customers. And because in the Honda world, people don't look at those engines as a very advantageous one, because people kind of just follow what everyone else does and don't really think about the technology and science behind things. Those engines are cheap. I picked up the one in my wagon for like $200. Yes, a $200 K24 that can easily make north of 700 horsepower when built. And all you have to do is sleeve it, pistons and rods from Trom, valve train from us, put a turbo and an engine management, and you're good to go. So that being said, it makes things easier. The intake flows amazingly well, and for boost, it is a no-brainer. It's amazing indeed. It's Season Bruff. N54 Ty says, I love to pick your brain on the track driving style sometime too. I'm so down to do it. Not 23rd, 13th. Yeah, got it indeed. APR Chris, hello sir. Wow, I didn't work with you guys this year because I didn't do anything for SEMA, but next year, let's have some fun, Chris. Chris is really deep into the marketing and strategy sessions with APR. They do all the carbon fiber wings we use, all the splitters. They're really a force to be reckoned with in everything that has to do with aerodynamics for racing and for aesthetics. So I love them very much. Thank you for joining me indeed, Chris. For real, damn, she's a beauty. Thank you so much, Parse. Appreciate the kind words. Happy early birthday, says Great Motoring. And many, many more to come. I know it feels so much. I want to do, and time flies. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Oh my God, it's about time flying. It's almost 1 o'clock. It's almost time for me to depart. Let me see what else I can answer before I head on out. I hope this is a great question, says Parse. What is your favorite liter in car? Which do you prefer and feel the most comfortable with? Favorite liter? Liter as in displacement? Liter. I don't know. Please expand on that. I really want to ask you a question, but I need a little expansion. Would you ever build a Volkswagen Bug, says Papa Joe 1994? Yes. Classic and new. You know, I love working with OEMs. I really do. And I don't have a relationship with the Volkswagen. If I did, I'd love to build a classic Bug and something really modernized. I would love to. I'm so down. I'm so down to do it. I just love Bugs. They're pretty cool. Thoughts on the closing of Fontana quarter-mile track? I hate it. I mean, drag strips are going away. It's like we have to go back east to have a plethora of drag strips. It's crazy. I mean, Alex, remember when you and I met? What tracks do we have? I mean, we heard they closed Lions, right? But we're at Terminal Island out in Long Beach. Yes, guys, in Long Beach, California, we had a drag strip. Really nice one that's right there at sea level. We had Palmdale. We had Los Angeles County Raceway right there in Palmdale, no problem. We have Pomona. Pomona still exists, but because of the people who live in the city of Laverne next door, right near the track, they have, because of noise, prevented us from racing there again. Yes, you buy a house for a good price next to a track because it's next to a track in the airport. They complain about the noise when you move next to a track in an airport. It's crazy. But anyway, but we used to be able to race in Pomona all the time, and that went away. Bakersfield is still around, but that's a bit of a trek. And then we had Carlsbad, right? That was my go-to track, right there off the 5 and Palomar Airport Road. It was just a nice, secluded track, sea level as well, lots of fun. I did a lot of my driving, learning there. I broke a lot of records there, being that I can go there, set up my car properly, and go to a proper event. My God, the good old days. We had so much going on. It's so sad we don't have that anymore. Anyway, yep, I hate the fact they're closing it. That's really sad. And I think they're going to do some stuff with NASCAR at the Forum and near Inglewood. Anyway, so much is going. Greetings, Blue Top Performance Age 22. Hope all is well with you on the East Coast and you're staying warm as well. So Shelly Fresh Poo says, me again, what do you recommend in beefing up the Evo 9 drivetrain to support enthusiastic launches? You want to hear my solution for real? A Quave gearbox. I mean it. I won't even muck around. I'll just, and I've done it. That's why I have in my wagon. I'll go straight with a proper Quave sequential transmission. Hit them up. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. And it doesn't break the bank too. It's pretty cost effective. Relatively cost effective. We won Hot and Port Nights. Congratulations, Blue Top Performance. I'm so proud of you. Please say hi to the family. One thing I do love about Blue Top Performance is he really goes above and beyond in getting his family, him and his children involved in building cars. And that means a lot to me, Blue Top, because one thing we struggle with as engineers, as enthusiasts, is that we see a whole new crop, a whole new generation of potential enthusiasts not doing it. They don't care about cars. This is the first generation where most people don't even care about getting driver's licenses. I know how crazy I was trying to get my driver's license. And just imagine that. I mean, kids nowadays not even care about driving. And that little thing you're doing, getting your daughters and your son involved in automotive, in racing, in motorsports, you are doing the world a favor. We need to keep it going. Even as we transition into electrification, I mean, I'm still going to be all about performance electronics, performance EVs. I'm going to be about going fast and having fun doing it. So that being said, guys, do what you can to help the youth. Do whatever you can. Please, please, please do. Please. You will not regret it at all. So guys, that being said, I do have to conclude this Tech Tuesday. We'll be back here, same time next week. In the meantime, have a Merry Christmas all. I look forward to seeing all of you soon. Stay safe and, do what's right. Take care. Cheers. Bye-bye.